today, well, again, we're talking about actual market planning. How do you plan for your marketing? What do you do to get more sales? This business is, I don't want to say it's simple because the main thing is you have to be able to clean good, right? You do a good job. We know that, right? If you're not doing a good job, you're going to be in bad reviews. You're going to get everything. So we're assuming that you're already doing a good job.
Yep.
We're taking that for granted, right? We're like, hey, you know how to clean, you know how to get cleaning done.
That part you got locked in.
You got locked in. So, we're talking to more business owners who are already kind of established because they know what to do. Right now, it's just the hump of how do I hire people? How do I get to the next level? How do I actually get to the part where I can get customers predictably, right? You were the best cleaner. You were getting referrals. You were having people just, people were like, hey, you know what? You need to get Susan. You need to get such and such. She's the best. He's the best cleaner,
Yep.
and you get your referrals.
And
That's
now
how you do it.
something you said makes a lot of sense. We need to get customers predictably. Referrals are not predictable. They will come. I'll get a referral this week, may not get a referral for a month. I can't float my business on that. I have to float my business on something, not we have to float our businesses on a model that is more predictable than that. You have to have a system in place that is going to create you enough leads to have you in front of enough people who want our services. And the way that we get to that is through planning, number one. That's what we want to talk about big today. Our goals, our planning, our strategies, and our steps for how we're going to get to where we want to be with marketing, with sales, with training, with HR, with all of the different components that actually make up your whole business. Today is the first Monday of the new year. It is the absolute best day and time to put your plan together, put your goals down if you haven't already done so.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. And starting it out with is just, I would tell people, the first thing we're going to get into two things. We're going to get into the technical aspects, like what is it actually planning? What does this look like? The numbers, what numbers do we need to get? And then we're going to understand the why of it. How do we actually, why are we doing this? Just to understand the psychology. Because if you just get up every day and you just clean, there's no reason behind it, right? It's hard to keep motivated. It's hard to stay focused. So the first question, right, that I want everybody to answer, if you're watching this, is what's your number? Right? What is your number? And we're just gonna make, and we can just take that 100,000 a
I
month,
was going to
right?
say, we can use mine. I have no problem sharing my goals. My goal this year for my Midtown office is $1 million in revenue with a 25% profit. Um, my goal this year as well is to open a second office in New York City. But again, I have to hit that first goal. And then that second office is the next goal behind that to do the same numbers.
Yeah.
So 1 million per year, 1 million this year with a 25% profit.
So understanding your number and understanding where you want to get to, and then you want to look at where your base is, right? So I'm just gonna make these numbers up because like I said, when we in the group, we can talk to them about financials and everything like that.
Yep.
But let's say, and a lot of people, that's a lofty number, right? So I just want to scale it back. And no, no, I understand it. I'm not saying it. I'm saying some people, and we can stick with the $1 million number, right? And I just want to say it like this because when people get to a million, right? Let's say right now, and 25% profit, that would be 250,000 in
Hmm.
profit. Okay. So let's say you're at 500,000. That means you want to double revenue, right? And we're talking 25% profit. We're talking about with all systems in place. We're talking about everything like that. So there's we always say, what's the vision, right? We have a vision, a mission. The vision is what will the business look like? The mission is how we get there tangibly. What are the numbers? What is it actually doing? And then the why is the purpose of why we're getting there. There's two ways that I measure things is by revenue and by clients. Okay, and for you, there's math involved for everybody. The math is what is the lifetime value of your client? What's that lifetime value? So how do we get the lifetime value? Now we don't take the entire lifetime value. How long have some of your customers been with you, Lorraine?
I mean, an average, let's say, is 2 years.
Okay.
Because I'll
Now,
say some of them I've had since I started, and some of them are, but
midway.
two, yeah,
Right. So 2 years, right? So she said, so we're just averaging now, saying her lifetime value is 2 years, but that's not what I want you to calculate it on. We just say the 1 year, right? What is one customer, the average customer spending with me every year? So now if I can know that how much the customer is spending with me, let's say the customer is spending $12,000 a year. Okay,
okay,
let's say that their average is $12,000 a year.
yep, $1,000 a month, 12,000 a year. Okay.
Okay, just to make it easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we want to know if we spend, so that means that if we spend 20% of our money to get that customer, right? Which would be $600 to get a customer.
When you say 20% of that money, you mean 20% of the 1 year value of your customer.
Exactly. The
Okay,
1 year value of your
make that
customer.
clear for everyone. So
Mm-hmm.
20% of the 1 year value of your customer.
And that's the most you would pay for a customer. We're not going to pay more for a customer than that. We don't want to, right? But you want to get it less than that. We're just saying that that's the most. Like if it was right now at that number, like yo, you know what? I'm paying $600 a customer, right? If you pay $600 to get 12,000 back, right? Would it be worth it?
Yeah, I put them 600s up every single day.
And I'm saying the wrong thing. I've said 600 is it's 2,400 in this case right here.
Okay, just did the numbers on that too.
I was like, yo, I was
That's
like, yo,
really low.
like,
I'm about to say, let's get us some $12,000 people
it
right
is a bit.
now.
But you spending $2,400 a customer, right? And to get a long term customer. What that is though is that you understanding that these customers now we don't want to. We always try to get our budgeting dollars down to 10%,
Yeah.
right? But we know that it costs us 20% to get this much. If we spend $2,400, now we're not spending that money to get those people. If you get 10, 20 clients a year, you can now see what it's actually costing you, how much you're actually spending, and what you can spend to get those clients, right? You can actually see, okay, you know what? I need to be able to spend. I can go to BNI networks. I can treat for donuts. I can go out here because I know that walking around, I can pay a salesperson because the more clients you get in, that's how you want to do it. Now you know $2,400, right? We're saying to get a client. Now we know that being that expensive, we know that being expensive, we also want to make sure we're following up with all leads. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep a client. So if you spend a dollar here, $5 here, $20 here, understand all of that can be within that $2,400 budget. Because we
That
don't.
makes sense because, to be honest, to hear that number sometimes starting off sounds scary on your advertising budget. You know what I mean? $2,400. Even if you're saying that, okay, that's going to get me a $12,000 client for the year, sometimes we can't afford that up front. But I do want us to break that number down and think of it like this, like you said, Clive. A couple of hundred of that could be used to send the client something, you know what I mean, as a thank you, or to give them a small discount, for being a valued client or something like
Mhm.
that. It doesn't all have to go upfront directly into like Google ads and advertising and thing like that. That's what you want to spend to acquire a client that's going to have that value to you. Some clients are going to have, and again, we pulled that number out as just being not an average or anything like that, just a number that we can use. Um, but based on your budget and the value of your clients, you can then determine, what percentage, 20 being the absolute highest that you want to spend. Like Clive, you were saying you actually want to spend 10, you want to get it down to less if possible. But what's it worth to you to have one of those clients, you know?
Just
And that's
understand
what
you
you
got to
really
be.
got to look at.
Now, what is it worth to you? You got
Hmm.
to be aggressive to begin with, especially when you're going after clients. So once again, this starts out with if you're already making money, right, and you start spending money to get clients, because what got you here is not going to get you there, right? It's easier when you're the person you just wanted, but now you got employees to bring on, you have people to get, and you understand that you have to be very, very, very careful with my clients.